Earlier this evening, I spoke to Syed Akbaruddin, India's former permanent representative to the United Nations, someone who has also served as the spokesperson of the Ministry of External Affairs in New Delhi, as well as India's representative at the IAEA. And I put four simple questions before him. One, how much of a shift are we seeing in foreign policy under Joe Biden as compared to Donald Trump? Two, what should India expect from the US Defense Secretary's visit? 3. How do we balance strategic autonomy with strategic alliances? And 4. How should India expect China to respond to this visit? Here's what he told us. Mr. Akbaruddin, welcome to Beyond. How are you, sir?
Thank you very much. It's nice to be back on your show.
When we last spoke, Joe Biden had been elected as US president, and we discussed that with the way America had handled the pandemic under the previous president, his priorities may be tilted more towards domestic affairs and foreign policy. But it seems that the Biden administration is very keen to work with foreign partners. Do you see this as one of the top priorities of his government right now, to engage with potential allies?
Yes, it's pretty obvious that unlike the Trump administration, the discerning feature of the Biden administration is to look for partners, global partners who can work with them on a host of issues. And today, the distinction between addressing common challenges domestically and internationally is fading very fast, because many of these are transboundary challenges, whether it's climate change, whether it's pandemics, whether it's cybersecurity. There are a host of challenges which the Biden administration has to address, and these need partnerships. And so I think you're right that this is a distinction that is clear from the last administration.
What can we expect from this three-day visit in terms of tangibles?
Visits always need to be looked at as landmarks, which are reflections of where we stand rather than as outcomes. Because especially in defense areas, outcomes are best addressed separately, because they are longer term in nature. So what can we achieve? What can we expect? One, we expect this to be a reflection of the importance that the Biden administration places on ties with India. It comes just shortly after a very successful Quad summit. Also, the Defense Secretary Austin is coming to India after visits to 2 US alliance partners in Asia. And India, a partner which is not an alliance partner, has been given importance in terms of engagement. So, number one, it is a clear signal of the importance that the Biden administration places on ties with India. Number two, our defense ties are pretty expansive. Look at defense trade. Since 2008, our defense trade has amounted to something like $21 billion. This is a huge amount if you look at the previous decade before that. Number two, we are both committed to maritime security in the Indo-Pacific. Number three, there are a host of new challenges which are coming up, such as, say, cybersecurity. Increasingly, infrastructure, which is of critical nature, is becoming a target of state actors and non-state actors. And both the US and India has faced these challenges in the recent past. Again, there are a lot of defense requirements that India has, and it is looking for partners. And perhaps that will proceed further down the line. Finally, in our region, Afghanistan, the situation is evolving very fast there. India has vital interests, so does the US, and there is possibility of a greater understanding of where we are proceeding together on this front too. So there are a host of issues, some of them a little longer term in nature, some a little short, but all of them very important.
You said visits should be viewed vis-a-vis where we stand rather than the outcomes. Where do we stand, sir? Because India talks about strategic autonomy. How do you balance that goal when you're obviously throwing your lot with a particular geopolitical grouping? Would it be fair to say that India is drifting closer to America as an ally than in any other country at this point?
So you started by saying strategic autonomy. Strategic autonomy is a factor of how we see who are our potential adversaries and who are our potential friends in this or partners in this framework. So I don't see how India's strategic autonomy would in any way be adversely impinged on greater ties with the US. Our interests are not contradictory in nature. Yes, the US would want allies. We, on the other hand, would want partners. That's how we are. Partnership is for us perhaps the maximum that we can go. And it's not against US interest to enhance that partnership with India because they are looking for partners too. So if there is a coalescence of interests, strategic autonomy would not be undermined just because partnership is strengthened. And in a world which is volatile, we all need partners. So I don't think you should equate partnership with tilts. We are too big a country to be in one camp or the other. There may be occasions when we do, of our own accord, choose a line of thinking, and maybe on others, we may choose slightly different line of thinking. And that's there with the US too. As you know, there are differences, for example, on our acquisition of arms from the Russian Federation. It still hasn't undermined our ties with the US, despite our understanding that they have sharp differences with the Russian Federation, whereas our ties with the Russian Federation are historic in nature and are in a way, extremely important for our own strategic autonomy.
My final question, sir. How do you think China views these developments and this visit in particular, and how should we expect Beijing to respond?
How should we expect and how would we want are two different things. But we would want China to understand that, for example, Chinese trade with the US is about 3 to 4 times our trade with the US. That hasn't engendered any sense of concern in us. So we would like them to understand that it's normal for states to cooperate in some areas, collaborate in some areas, compete in other areas, and perhaps be in a less than friendly atmosphere in some others. That's the nature of the beast today. However, what we've seen is that the Chinese have not been very helpful in their responses, for example, to the Quad Summit. They have talked of it as a clique. If the Quad is a clique, then BRICS is a clique too. So is China's quadrilateral with some of our neighbors. So is SCO. So what is fair for the goose is fair for the gander. We can't have two different ways. So we hope China will be mature and understand our needs and see an evolving situation where they can also try and improve their ties with us. However, it looks that they may not be as understanding as we would want them to be, but that we will have to tackle as it goes forward. Our own interests are supreme. Other countries will have to adjust to how they view us as we pursue our own interests.
Syed Akbaruddin, always a pleasure speaking to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Palki.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.